that's without experience is virtually useless. It has no meaning. It has no value. It will never make any difference in your life whatsoever. Yet most people, well, they feel very safe in their heads. They feel very safe just conceptualizing things, planning for their success, thinking about everything over and over and over. The fact is, you can't get hurt by playing in the game if you spend your whole life in the stands. Ooh, ouch. That's most people in the stands of their own life. They're safe, yet miserable, unfulfilled, and desiring to escape themselves. The question to ask yourself is this: am I willing to settle for a meager, passionless existence, so that all the while knowing it's because you never really tried?
Today, my friends, we are going to talk about knowledge, and it's not the type of knowledge that you learned in college. In fact, I want to clarify one of the biggest misconceptions that I think people really have about knowledge. And I want to give you a deeper understanding of what knowledge is actually going to allow you to create results in life that blow away what average, and I'm not saying this in a sort of like, degrading way or anything, I'm just saying it because that's what it is, what average people create, okay? Average people have a certain understanding of knowledge. And their understanding of knowledge is this: knowledge is something you accumulate. It's something you acquire. It's some little bit of data that you take inside your brain and it stays inside your head, and you put it inside some little knowledge bank, and you walk around with a head full of ideas and a head full of concepts and a head full of ideologies and a head full of philosophies, and you think you actually know something. Okay, that's what most people's idea of knowledge is, but there's a little bit of a catch. That type of knowledge doesn't create results. That type of knowledge really doesn't create anything. That type of knowledge makes almost no difference in your life whatsoever. It literally keeps you in your head, stuck inside your head, pondering things, thinking that you're getting somewhere, and you're really like a hamster on a hamster wheel. Yet that's what most people seek when it comes to knowledge. That's what they think knowledge really is. And today, I want to teach you, I want to share with you the insights of what I've learned about knowledge. I want to share with you the warrior's path for how a warrior really views knowledge. And I want to give you an understanding. I want to give you a feel. I want to give you a sort of lifestyle choice that you can embody, that will help you become absolutely unstoppable. So you ready for this? Do you want to become unstoppable? Because here's what you need to do. Knowledge that stays inside your head is completely useless. It's useless. The only knowledge that will ever make a difference in your life is experiential knowledge. It's knowledge that you actually experience. It's not something that is static inside your head. It is alive. You are experiencing it. You are living it. And through the act of living it, you actually embody it. Now, we all know that most of the people who start their own home-based business, who come into entrepreneurship, everyone's out there. We're all trying to figure things out, right? So we're buying this course, we're learning about this tactic, we're learning about that tactic, we're learning about this tactic. Yet the problem is that everybody's kind of staying in their head about everything. You've got head knowledge, you've got conceptual knowledge about what is pay-per-click, what is SEO, what is all this stuff, but you don't have the most important knowledge that exists and the only knowledge that will ever actually make a difference in your life, which is experiential. I want to make this very clear. You don't know anything about pay-per-click until you've done pay-per-click. You don't know anything about SEO until you've done SEO, and you don't know anything about being a successful entrepreneur until you are a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because you've experienced it at that point. You've lived it. which means the most important thing that exists in the world when it comes to getting the result that you want, when it comes to creating the life that you want, and when it comes to truly growing, is to actually be experiencing, to actually be doing, and to actually put yourself in the field of whatever it is that you want to master, whatever it is that you want to embody. Now, when it comes to being an unstoppable entrepreneur, which is exactly what I'm going to help you become, okay, just let's be clear on this. That is my mission. It is my intention. It is my goal. And I will stop at nothing until I create it. I will stop at nothing until I help you become an unstoppable entrepreneur. Now, when it comes to being an unstoppable entrepreneur, there's certain principles that you have to embody. You have to embody them. You cannot just let them be static knowledge that floats around your head and think you're getting somewhere, because you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting anywhere until you embody the principles. I want to ask you a few questions, okay? How experiential, and I want you to get into the feel of this, okay? How experiential is your knowledge of being fulfilled in life? Because you can have knowledge of, you know, what makes me fulfilled, blah, 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 blah. You can go on and off in your head about being happy, about, you know, all these different things. But how experiential is your knowledge of joy? Is your knowledge of love? Is your knowledge of unstoppableness? You've got to bring it experiential. You can know, oh, all I have to do is believe in myself. All I have to do is think positive thoughts, blah, 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 blah. You know this in your head, and you think that that's what's going to lead to success, or that's what's going to lead to being unstoppable. But it's not. It's not. It's at best a little pointer finger or a little reminder or something pushing you along a certain way. But the only thing that's going to lead to you becoming unstoppable is embodying being unstoppable. I mean, that's really what it is. And how that looks is when you're faced with a challenge, when you're faced with an obstacle, when you're faced with anything in your life, okay, the real knowledge here that's experiential is not a bit of data inside your head or anything like that. What it is how you live. So when you are faced with that obstacle, you just move through it. Now you are living the knowledge of being unstoppable. You're living the knowledge that that cannot stop you. Now you are embodying unstoppable. And guess what? There's many varying degrees of unstoppable. As we begin this journey, and this is what most people don't understand, okay? Most people, they want to live their life on this like even keel, like nothing's ever wrong, I'm never challenged, I can be as smooth as possible, I'm just going to wake up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to, do the same darn thing every single day. That's how they live their life, like that, okay? Now, once you and you have declared this, just FYI, by the fact that you believe in yourself enough to even be watching this video and want to build a business for yourself and want to create something for your life, you've already declared this, okay? You've declared, I want more, okay? And now that you've declared, I want more, guess what? You're going to be tested to see if you're capable enough and really deserving enough of getting more, okay? So here's what happens when you start to build a business. Boom, obstacle number one. You're hit with obstacle number one. Inevitably, where do you find prospects, okay? So now you're like, how do you solve this problem? Most people actually stop right there. They hit obstacle number one, which is pretty much this big, and that's where they run away from. And it's like a wonder why the success ratios are so small. They hit obstacle number one, it's this friggin' big, and they go, oh, I can't do it, and they run, okay? And I want you to know, I'm not trivializing this. I just want to show you the mindset behind these behaviors, behind these actions, okay? Now, if you stay and you say, you know what, I've reached this little obstacle here, but I'm getting freaking through it, I'm not stopping at nothing, then you've embodied the experience of being unstoppable at that level. But guess what? Obstacle number two is coming up next, which is, well, now that I found some prospects or I got some prospects, I got to get good at closing them. I got to get good at making money. I have to get good at actually getting these sales in the door. And this obstacle is a little bit bigger. Who knows what you'll have to go through for this? You know what I mean? But again, the point is, people hit this. If you run, you never move past. You pretty much failed the test of the universe. You're really not even deserving success at that point because you couldn't even meet the challenges. You couldn't even meet the tests that you get to move you along your way. Now, if you pass that test, guess what? There's another one. And when you pass that one, there's another one. And when you pass that one, there's another one. And when you pass that one, there's another one. And as far as I know, I don't really think they ever stop. The only time the tests stop is when you say you no longer want to grow anymore. When you have said, I don't want to grow anymore, that's when your tests will stop. I don't know about you, but I don't ever plan on saying that. Because the second you say, I don't want to grow anymore, you just pretty much killed your life. Your life is pretty much flatlined at that point. You have stagnated it. I hope you had fun while you were growing, because that's about the most diversity you're ever going to get thereafter that point. And this is the comedy of it all, because most people avoid the challenges, they avoid the problems, they avoid the obstacles that are in their path because they think, I don't really know what they think. It's easier, or it's too difficult, or whatever it is. They end up not really living life at all. The funniest part is that it is all of those things, the challenges, the obstacles, the difficulty, the bumps in the road that actually cause us to grow, that actually make life interesting, that actually make life rewarding, fulfilling, and all the other things that we actually want. It's so funny. We run from what it is that's trying to get us what we want. I want you to recognize all of this today and stop it. If you're doing any of that at all, then you need to stop it if you want to become an unstoppable entrepreneur. Because I'm not kidding when I tell you that if you don't stop it, then there's really no hope. The only hope for anyone to truly become unstoppable is to truly become unstoppable. I know it sounds a little strange, but that's the truth. You have to embody the knowledge. You have to experience the knowledge. You have to live the knowledge, or it is useless. And the only way that you live it is to live it. There's no other way. It's just what you have to do. So my goal, why I created the Unstoppable Entrepreneur live immersion experience, is to move everyone. It's to move everyone out of this stagnant place regarding the principles of unstoppableness and regarding the principles of being an unstoppable entrepreneur. I'm going to move everyone out of this stagnant place inside their head, which may have some knowledge about it, which may have some ideas or some concepts about it, and I'm going to move everything into experience. I'm going to get you into the experience of what it actually means to be an unstoppable entrepreneur. You are